Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Jessica Carter, the Peaceful Billionaire here. I am with you on, it's Wednesday. Welcome. Good evening. It's late again already. As I do. I think people probably think I live on the West Coast. That would be a little bit more reasonable than being on the East Coast and going live with this amount of energy at 11 o'clock at night. So anyways, good evening. Welcome. Jessica Carter, the Peaceful Billionaire here. And I have some fun things to chat with you about this evening. So last night I was really right, bringing in that divine billionaire frequency, that divine $1 billion frequency for you to activate, access, harness the power of your, right? The value and the power of your $27 billion asset, your mind, right? Your mind is a $27 billion asset with 27 billion kilowatts of power that are available for you to harness and direct towards anything you choose to have. And that includes your financial destiny. So your financial destiny is not something, hey there, good evening. Your financial destiny is not something that is predetermined. It is not something that is predetermined. It is, in fact, up to you to choose what the financial destiny you would like to have looks like, right? What is that number? What is that number? So am I a billionaire? Not yet. Not yet, but I am the Peaceful Billionaire, and I am on my way to billions. Let me tell you the fastest way to get to billions. The fastest way to get to billions is multi-millions. That I can speak to you about. That I am. So what happens for billions? And so why Peaceful Billionaire? Why Peaceful Billionaire now? I did a live several weeks back about being your future self now. And for those of you who don't know yet, my first book was the Peaceful Millionaire that I wrote last year. I'll be writing the Peaceful Multimillionaire this year, and I'll be writing the Peaceful Billionaire next year. So just really quick, the way the Peaceful Billionaire now came about was the beginning of this year. Knowing that those were going to be my upcoming books, I started asking and calling in that $1 billion frequency. Hey, Paulina, welcome. I started calling in that $1 billion frequency in January of this year. And so why the Peaceful Billionaire, and why would you listen to me, and why is that valuable? Why is that important to you? And the reason that I stepped into it was because that was something that even for me still felt scary and big at the time, right? It still felt really scary and big at the time. But I started to call in that $1 billion frequency in January because I was like, all right, Jessica, you're going to be writing a book called The Peaceful Multimillionaire this year and a book called The Peaceful Billionaire next year, and that's a significant jump. So let's start calling in that frequency now. And what happened was then I ended up at an event where one of my mentors, we were at a VIP launch, we were having a conversation. And when I shared the titles of the upcoming books, she looked at me and she said to me, that's it, Jessica. She said, you're the Peaceful Billionaire. Be the Peaceful Billionaire now. You're the Peaceful Billionaire now. That's it. You're the Peaceful Billionaire. And I was like, whoa. Right. So at that point, that I was even kind of like, well, actually, you sure about that? Because at the time I was like, I still felt like I had some time to kind of, grow into that and expand into that. So at that time, that still felt really, really, really big to me. And it felt really, really, really scary as well. But I said yes. And that same day, I went ahead and bought the web domain, and I just said yes, right? So I said yes to that expansion. And then, right? And then my team was updating my social media handles to the Peaceful Millionaire, because I really was going to keep everything Peaceful Millionaire temporarily, and scale and, shift the branding, as time progressed, because again, I still felt like I was stepping into that. But the Peaceful Millionaire wasn't available as a handle. There was some bogus accounts that don't have any posts or anything like that, which was silly. But I said, is the Peaceful Billionaire available? And they said yes. And I was like, done, take it, let's go. Right. And then about a week later, I got a phone call from a dear friend of mine inviting me to be a founding member of a group, which was referral or invite only, to scale and grow my business to $1 million a month or more. And that was how that went down. And what I know about the frequency, and this is why I'm the Peaceful Billionaire now, what I know about the frequency is the expansion that it brings to you. The expansion that even the possibility of billions brings to you. Because it requires you to show up in a very, very different way, both internally and externally. Right? So wherever you are on that spectrum, whether your goal is your first 6 figures, your goal is multiple 6 figures, your goal is 7 figures, your next level is multiple 7 figures, 8 figures or beyond, regardless of where you are on that spectrum, you want to hear me talk for hours. Thank you. Regardless of where you are on that spectrum, what that billionaire, what that $1 billion, what that Peaceful Billionaire frequency is going to bring you is the expansion that you need, that's going to be required both internally and externally for you to get there. Right. And so what is required, and how in the heck does that even make sense or work? And why do I keep saying both internally and externally? And the reason that I say both internally and externally is because when you think about money, right? Money itself, this is really important. Money itself is neutral. Money itself is neutral. No matter how small the dollar amount or how big the dollar amount is, money itself is neutral. So whether I'm talking about hundreds of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions of dollars, regardless of that number or how big or small that dollar amount is, the numbers are neutral. The dollars are neutral. How you feel about the dollars, about the numbers, about the dollar amount, about the money is most likely not neutral. Now, that's not judgment. That's not judgment whatsoever, right? That's not judgment whatsoever. It's just not neutral. And I'm going to share with you why. Now, the reason that when you hear certain amounts of money, that there's a charge or you feel resistance to it, has to do with your internal world of money. So that's one of the reasons that I talk about large dollar amounts, is because everyone's ears are sensitive to hearing really big dollar amounts, and you're even more sensitive to talking about big dollar amounts. Excuse me. So if you spend time with me in any of my programs or in any of my courses, right, that's something that becomes normal. Like, talking about money isn't necessarily normal, and that's really something that I want to change. Talking about how big the dollar amounts are. You have to be able to talk about them, right? If you're not comfortable talking about $1 million, how the hell are you going to make $1 million? You got to at least be able to talk about the $1 million, right? You don't know where the $1 million is going to come from, but you at least got to be comfortable getting the $1 million out of your mouth. That's a great place to start, right? That's a great place to start. I mention this periodically, right? And so the world's most powerful success mantra is my voice is thunder, my thought is law, my actions make it so, and so it is. My voice is thunder, my thought is law, my actions make it so, and so it is, right? So your speech, your ability to even just talk about the numbers, and talk about the numbers. Got to be able to talk about them. You got to be able to manage the numbers, right? then you got to be able to manage the numbers, right? So if you're not good at managing small amounts of money, are you going to be good at managing big amounts of money? No. Right? So that's part of what comes in on the spectrum. Now notice that I said managing money and not budgeting, right? So managing money and budgeting money are different things. They might sound very similar, but they're different, right? And where a lot of people meet resistance when it comes to a budget, right, is a budget feels very restrictive and it feels very limiting or confining. And a lot of people, depending on what your money personality is, a lot of people just don't do well with that limitation or that restriction. I'm one of those. I'm one of those. I was never great with budgeting because it was so tedious, and it felt so limiting and restricting that I was like, I don't know, right? There has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And there is a better way, right? There is a better way. There are systems where you can manage your money that makes managing your money actually enjoyable and gives you the opportunity to enjoy money now while simultaneously building financial freedom. So if that's something that's enticing and exciting for you, hey there, good evening, welcome. If that's something that's exciting and enticing for you, I do have a 3-day intensive coming up in July. I'll be giving you all more details about that. But if that's something that you for sure are like, yes, I would love to spend 3 days with Jessa, and especially since you said you could listen to me for hours, if you would like to spend 3 days together and you would like to go deep into your understanding, one of those things, so there's all kinds of things that are going to happen at the intensive. You're going to learn what your money personality is. You're going to identify it. You're going to identify your current financial blueprint. And also what your current FFIQ is. Now, what is an FFIQ? That is your financial freedom IQ. So you're going to identify what those things are, right? Because you have to have a clear understanding of where you are, know where you are, and know where you want to go in order to get there, right? So that creates the gap. You have to know where you are. You have to know where you're going to go. And speaking of where you want to go, I actually titled the video this evening, "Are you dreaming big enough?" How much would you like to earn next year? How much would you like to earn this year? Or next year, not this year, next year. How much would you like to earn next year? Give me some numbers. Give me some, if you feel comfortable sharing in chat. If you don't, just put that number in your head. Hey there, welcome. So if you don't feel comfortable, how much, answering the question in the chat or in the comments, how much would you like to earn next year? 100K next year. Okay, all right. So celebrating that, and we can celebrate that together, right? Celebrating that together. So what you want to do, right? So you want to write that down, and you want to give yourself an end date in order to have that, right? And then also what's really, really important is starting to yes, reach that next level of income, but also, right, have a plan for how are you going to stop trading time for money? How are you going to start putting money to work for you? Is your money working for you? And if not yet, that's okay, right? That's the thing. There's zero judgment ever. Because, hey there, welcome, good evening. There's zero judgment ever, because when it comes to the financial spectrum of things, I have hit some of the highest highs in my life at this point, but I have also hit some of the lowest lows, and I also came from very humble beginnings. So there's zero judgment for me. And money is also one of those things. Remember earlier I was talking about all of the dollar amounts, right? And that those dollar amounts themselves are neutral, but how you feel about the dollar amounts or how you feel about money most likely is not neutral. And I remember that. So money is one of those things that stirs up a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. Oftentimes there's fear, there's shame, there's guilt, there's thoughts, there's fear of losing it all. Even if you made more, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm going to make more, but what if I lose it all? And so there's a lot of thoughts on stock or crypto. I am not a crypto person. That is not my personal cup of tea. I haven't started putting money into crypto. I have some friends who are really, really great in the crypto space. So if that's something you're looking for, I can make some recommendations or some connections, but that's not my personal current jam. And then stock is one of those things where, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having stocks, but there's also a lot of other more like non-traditional ways to put as far as where to put your money so that you can grow your money a bit faster. So I think it's very reasonable to have some money in stocks, but it's not ideal for that to be your one and only jam. And so what I do, so I wanted to circle back to, right, I remember I was saying, so the money, the dollar amounts themselves are not neutral. How you feel or are neutral, excuse me, money, numbers, dollar amounts are neutral, but how you feel about them are not. And so examples of the non-traditional ways that there's various ones. That's not something I'm gonna get into here tonight. It just so happens that I had a conversation with somebody about some other opportunities for things like that for my clients this evening, because I do have oh, thanks, Polly. I'll see you next time. I get information on various types of passive income, both for myself and for my clients. But that's not generally just something that I share the details of on a live, but that is something that's available for my clients. But anyways, talking about like the why there's a charge, right? Why is it that how you feel about money is not neutral? Why is it that there are people who have lots and lots of money who are miserable, and there are people who have very little money and they're happy and they're fulfilled, right? And that has to do with the fact that there are two different worlds of money. So we happen to kind of start talking quite a bit about the outer world of money. So the outer world of money is money itself. That's managing money. That's the world of finance, the world of investment, passive income, right? Stocks, crypto, all of those things are in the external world of money. And then you also have an internal world of money. So that's your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, what actions you take or avoid when it comes to money, right? What is your money personality? What is your current financial blueprint? All of those things are in what are your habits, what are your habits and your patterns your spending patterns, habits when it comes to money? All of those things are driven from your inner world of money. And then, no worries. And then the way that those two worlds of money, so you have this inner world of money, right? That's your inner workings and how you, about money. And then there's the outer world of money. And the way those two worlds communicate is by way of a relationship. Your relationship with money is how your inner world of money communicates with that outer world of money. So, similar to any other relationship, that relationship with money can either be stressful, tumultuous, unpleasant, right? It can be a lot of things, similar to any toxic, torturous relationship. Your relationship money can be that way, and it can feel that way. Right. And that can create stress and strain when it comes to money. That can create stress and strain when it comes to building and growing money, right? Your capacity to earn, hold, and grow money, or earn, hold, and grow wealth. So that can affect that. And on the flip side, right, on the flip side, your relationship with money has the potential to be peaceful, to be loving, to be supportive, right? To create freedom for you. And last night I was talking about freedom, right? About freedom and true freedom. What is true freedom? And I think true freedom means something different to everyone. But what true freedom means to me is freedom in that outer world of money, right? Meaning that you have passive income, that you're financially free, that you have assets and passive income that pay for your current lifestyle, right? So that you are working because you choose to, not because you have to. So you have money that is working for you. Um, and then true freedom, really, even with that money, because even if you have that money working for you, that doesn't mean you're truly free in here or in here, right? So true freedom is really when your inner world of money and that outer world of money are in, and your relationship with money are in balance, are in harmony, right? So true freedom in here, whether it's in your head and in your heart, in your body, the true freedom is freedom from worry, freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, freedom from insecurity, freedom from self-doubt, right? Freedom from scarcity, from lack, from worry, from limitation, from any sort of limitation. And that's another reason for the peaceful billionaire and the frequency, right, of really going beyond those current, what are those boundaries, right? The only limitations are the limitations. Thank you so much for the love. The only limitations are the ones you place upon yourself, right? So freedom, true freedom, is being free from limitation, is knowing your power to create anything you choose in this life. Anything you choose to have is available for you to have. You have to choose it, and then you have to aim your power towards getting there. And I was chatting about it actually before people hopped on this evening. So you said, thank you for that compliment. You and your mindset are beautiful. I hope you have a good night. God bless. So the mind, right? So that mindset, I've done a lot of work, a lot of work to train and reprogram my brain. I've done both. Right, I've done both, and that's also the work that happens within my courses and my programs for my clients, because I understand how valuable that was. Because when I was on my journey and someone first taught me the money management system, it was like, okay, here's the money management system. Good luck with that. And I was like, oh boy. Right. And at the time, I didn't feel worthy of being rich. I didn't feel deserving of being rich, even though I had a successful career formerly. Like, my relationship with money was crap, right? I wasn't managing my money. I didn't have any sort of freedom whatsoever, internally or externally. And it sucked, quite frankly. It sucked. And so when I learned that financial freedom was even a possibility, I was like, okay, well, that's incredible, but how do I get there? How do I get there? And it's an internal game as much as it is an external game. Because if you don't optimize your inner world of money, you're never going to reach the success that you could in the outer world of money. Or it's not going to feel good, or you're not going to be able to enjoy it if those two worlds are not in harmony, and if your relationship with money is, in how those two worlds communicate, isn't a healthy, supportive, peaceful relationship, right? So all of these things come into what it means for me to have true freedom, both internally and externally, true freedom. And that is really part of what, for me, it means to be a peaceful billionaire, right? That you have true freedom. You are truly free inside, free from fear, free from worry, free from doubt, free from limitation, from lack, right? From insecurities, that you're free from all of those inner confinements and restraints. You're free from limitation. You're truly free to be who you are in this world, to enjoy this life to the absolute highest place, right? Whatever that is for you. and that you have the money to enjoy that, right? That you have the money to enjoy that, to see the places that you want to see, to do the things you want to do, to spend the time, right, with the people that you love, so that you're not just trading time for money all the time. Um, it's incredible. It's incredible. And most people don't know that it's even available. And then if you know it's available, you're like, well, how the heck do I get there? How the heck do I get there? And it really, really takes, for you to advance in across the board, advance your inner world of money and your outer world of money and your relationship with money, so that those things are happening simultaneously, and that all of those things are reaching a place of balance and harmony, so that not only are you able to enjoy the money that you have now, right, that you're doing that, right, you're enjoying the money that you have now while simultaneously building the financial freedom. And then the thing that most people don't talk about or ever either, right, because most of the time it's make more, spend more, make more, spend more, make more, spend more, right? So that was the model that I knew, right? And it's like, okay, make more money, upgrade my lifestyle, but that doesn't mean there's more, that doesn't mean there's money left over. So what I really teach is becoming financially free for your current, right, for your current lifestyle, and then continuing to grow, to continuing to amplify, increase your own earning potential, and increase your assets, so that when you do, the next time that you level up your quality of life, your lifestyle, right, your cars, your house, the vacations, the next time you level those things up, that you're leveling up your lifestyle with, because you have more passive income, right? Not because you're trading more time for money. That, right? That, my friends, is the plot and the plan of a peaceful billionaire, right? So there's always meaning. There's always meaning. Hey, Joey. It's nice to see you, my friend. I think I got a text message from you today, which I quickly saw, and I haven't gotten back to you yet, but I promise that I will. You're hopping on right at the very end. I was actually just about to wrap up, but this was a super exciting and fun live, and I could carry on forever, but I do my best to keep these more TED Talk style at around the 20 to 25-minute mark, and I'm a little bit over that now. So I am going to say my goodbyes. If you missed that, if you happen to see it on Instagram, you should be able to catch the replay on Instagram. If you're watching through one of the other platforms that I stream to, or just in general, you can always catch the replays on my YouTube channel, which is at The Peaceful Billionaire. And right, you can also catch my Mission to Billions vlog on my YouTube channel, which is my transparent behind the scenes journey of what is required both internally and externally for me to create unprecedented levels of wealth and success in a short period of time. And I assure you, it is no easy feat or small undertaking. I talked into that a little bit on my vlog last night, when you hear all these people like, here's your $8 million blueprint, and I'm like, or 8-figure blueprint. I was seeing that on somebody's ad on Instagram, and I was like, an 8-figure blueprint makes it sound so simple, right? And the thing is that when it comes to money and success, much of it is simple, but simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. And there really is, anytime you're beyond, regardless of how much it is, right? Whether that's multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, multiple 7 or beyond, no matter where you are on that spectrum, there is work involved, right? Like, the 8-figure blueprint, right? Those 8 figures are not just going to show up on your doorstep while you're like laying on the beach in a hammock, right? Unless you've been investing, and you've been growing your assets, and you've been growing your portfolio for quite some time, really, really wisely, right? That money's just not going to show up on your doorstep. I Like it requires action, and so there's so much that goes into into building what it is you're looking to building, and you do have to be supremely clear on what that is. But the point of the matter is, like, is again, like, 8 figures or billions of dollars, right? That's not just going to show up on your doorstep, right? The little stork isn't going to just like swing by and be like, here you go, thank you, right? It's not how that works, right? Generational, like, financial freedom, generational wealth, legacy, right? That is something that is built. That is something that is built. That is not something that just magically appears. It's not something that happens overnight, right? So it's not about like get rich quick, right? There are a lot of things you can do to speed up the process, right? But it's not an overnight process, and it's a journey. And part of the point of the matter is being able to enjoy the journey. Being able to enjoy the journey, no matter where you are, right? No matter where you're starting, enjoying that journey to where you're going. Because if you're not able to enjoy the journey, the destination is never going to be as sweet. Never going to be as sweet. All right, I shall leave you with that. I'm sending you incredible, extraordinary amounts of peace, of prosperity, that all of your actions prosper in the days and the weeks to come. And I will see you tomorrow if you happen to catch me live. Until then, live boldly, love deeply, laugh often, and be rich always in all ways. I'm Jessica Carter, the Peaceful Billionaire. I shall see you soon. Bye for now.